Greetings and blessings to you. We welcome you to another edition of Words of Faith and Power. Today we consider Isaiah chapter 40, verses 30 and 31. Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 30 says, "Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall." This verse appropriately follows Isaiah's preceding declaration of divine empowerment. The writer provides a powerful description of what God does for his people. He gives power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength. God is the source and the giver of strength. Isaiah makes his statement without equivocation. He stands on his own experience and that of Israel's history to consistently and confidently assert that God gives power to the faint. God knows how and when to distribute strength to the needy. We know that God is faithful and his power is shared with us in a timely and efficient manner. He gives power to the faint. He comes through again and again for those who have no might. In verse 30, we move on to consider our limitations. God has all power, and we do not. God does not get tired or exhausted, but we do. God gives strength and power, and we need the strength and power that he gives. Our weakness reminds us of our dependence on God. Isaiah said, "Even the youth shall faint and be weary." Yes, the youngest and the strongest of us get tired and wear down. At the very least, we experience both physical and spiritual weakness. We get tired. The world and its tragedies, diseases, violence, and other issues overwhelm and wear us out. Our energy, strength, and well-being is strained and tested and drained. We feel the impact of suffering spiritual loss. Our faith seems to decline. Our relationship with God is not what it should be. Our willingness to go on and to push on in life is waning. While dealing with these physical and spiritual deficits, you begin to remember that God gives strength. When the Apostle Paul knew that he had suffered issues or losses due to persecutions and afflictions, it was then that he said, "When I am weak, then am I strong." On another occasion, Paul said, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens or empowers me." Obviously, we can and do get tired, but God sustains and reminds us that he is there when we need him. Paul testifies that weaknesses will show up, but God is the strength giver. Yes, we are vulnerable at times. Isaiah's statement about the fainting youth confirms this. This reality should not frustrate you. Things happen, but we get through it with God's help. The youth faint and get weary. The young men utterly or completely fall. The Hebrew word for utterly fall seems to indicate that there are degrees of and different levels of this fall. At one point, the fall is merely a stumble, like a slight trip over something in the street. But you maintain your balance and keep walking. Even the stumbles should alert us to our need for God. God can give you balance during the trials of your life. You may stumble, but you don't have to fall. At another point, the fall means to totter or waver. This tottering seems or suggests that a person may move in a feeble and unstable way. They may be so weak that they are on the verge of falling. There is also a point at which the fall occurs. In this scenario, a person does not have the balance or the strength to keep standing. They utterly fall. This person has fallen completely, and there is not much that they can do to recover themselves. This person needs assistance and care. The answer for each level of falling in a spiritual or even in a physical sense is here for us. God can put some people in your path to help you and to strengthen you. They will have the therapeutic value to get you back on track. Some people will have the right word for you. Their words will build your confidence so that you can overcome any limiting factor in your life. God also gives you the ability to strengthen yourself. You can think the right thoughts and do the right things to get back on your feet. Thankfully, God designed us with internal spiritual and physical healing properties. We can activate these functions by faith. Here are a few biblical examples. David strengthened himself against Goliath. Samson strengthened himself against the Philistines. Paul and Silas strengthened themselves in jail at midnight. For sure, you have what it takes to make it through adversity. Isaiah concludes this passage in verse 31 with a verdict, encouragement, and a celebration about God's power and strength. We say emphatically that God is your source of strength when you need it. In spite of what you encounter in this life, you can lean on Isaiah's report. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. This is an awesome word to consider. They that wait are those who expect, patiently hold on, and look for a move of God in their life. God comes through for anyone who trusts him. Those who wait upon the Lord will receive their allocation of strength. In fact, the scripture says that they shall renew their strength. This renewing is the mechanism for sprouting, going forward, and growing into their strength. God will strengthen you and help you to apply the strength that he gives to you. The verdict, the encouragement, and the celebration are all contained in the words, God will give you strength. Isaiah adds that those who gain strength will mount up or soar with wings as or like eagles. The strength of eagle's wings is well known and documented. The eagle soars to great heights with enormous strength, the enormous strength of its wings. They consistently fly even during turbulent weather conditions. The eagle also flies through the air at a rate of 40 to 50 miles an hour. The eagle displays the majestic strength of his wings when hunting and carrying food to the nesting birds. It is a good thing to think about how God helps us to soar through different situations. The last part of this tremendous validation for believers is expressed in the following words. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. God gives us strength to wait on him. He gives us the strength to soar like an eagle. He gives us the strength, the energy, the faith to function, to run and to walk without any loss of power. You can do what you need to do. You can survive what you must go through. You can thrive with the strength that God gives you in this present world. God bless.